Have you seen how audio is really growing strong on the internet? It used to be that it was only video. Well, of course, you had the audio with that. But then we saw Clubhouse come out. And Clubhouse gave opportunities for people to interact a lot. And then Twitter was Spaces. We're looking at Facebook doing their live audio rooms and others coming out, and particularly LinkedIn is now out there with their LinkedIn audio events they have, and it's kind of a secret right now. Not everybody knows about it, and we have an opportunity for you to hear an interview I did with the amazing Beth Granger, a LinkedIn guru for a long time, and she was invited by LinkedIn to do one of the audios. I sat in on it, and we talked to her about that. You're going to love it as we cover that on this episode of Agorapreneurs.
Welcome to Agorapreneurs, standing for liberty and freedom, all done peacefully. Now, here is your guide, TerryBrock.
Welcome to Agorapreneurs. This is where we talk about the live and let live lifestyle of liberty and freedom. You get out and do what you want to do. Don't harm others. Don't hit them. Don't take their stuff, is how we talk about living life fully and abundantly. The Agora part is that. And the preneurs part is the entrepreneurs part. And a big part of that is doing what you want to do your way. We do that over at Video Rockstars, our sponsor here, where we get a chance to show you how to use video and other tools to really build your entrepreneurial business. Bounce over and see what we've got there for you. It's Video Rockstars, and notice the stars is with a Z. So it's Video Rockstars, and you'll find out about that. We'd love to have you join us and think about how you can build your business that way. And one of the ways to do that is with audio, particularly with audio that we're seeing in many different areas. We wanted to zero in on LinkedIn, what they're doing right now. They've got the LinkedIn Lives they've been doing for a while. I have one of those channels and do quite a bit over there. Love it to pieces. But there's even more now. They're opening up LinkedIn Live events, an audio live event that they're going to have. And it's one of those possibilities that are really enormous. A few people know about it right now. They've asked a few leaders in LinkedIn community to come in and to lead some discussions on that. I was able to join the amazing Beth Granger. Beth is a friend of ours at Video Rockstars and has spoken for us, done a lot of good there helping people on it, and she's seeing an inside scoop. So what we did is in this interview I did with her on Video Rockstars, we talked about what has happened with it, where it's going, and the possibilities for entrepreneurs. This is something you need to know about. You know how those things get going with technology and you look back and go, ooh, wish I would have got into it when it was really getting started. Well, now's your chance with LinkedIn. Join us for this as we talk with the amazing Beth Granger. We are so excited today because the person who's going to be speaking to us is an expert in what she talks about and knows, and it's something that is highly relevant to you as a communicator who solves problems, a CSP. You are a person who's doing it, and there's a new way for you to communicate right now. It's from an old friend that's been around for a long time called LinkedIn, and it's a new, relatively new way of presenting, and that is with audio only. Beth Granger is an expert in LinkedIn, among other things. She has helped many people, including me, to learn how to use it from a business point of view. And she has a real knack of having a fun style and yet professional all the time. You're going to see that. And those of you that don't know her are going to love getting a chance to know this wonderful lady. Beth Granger, welcome aboard. We're glad to have you here on Video Rockstars.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm just so excited about this new feature. And it reminds me of the days when Clubhouse first came out and I was spending hours and hours on it. So I'm sure once I figure out how I think I want to best use it, it'll be more strategic. But right now I feel like I'm on it all day. And if you haven't heard about it, it's called LinkedIn Audio Events.
Yeah, LinkedIn Audio Events. Notice the name there that they use. That's very important. LinkedIn Audio Event. From the big picture point of view, from a 35,000 foot, Beth, tell us, what is LinkedIn Audio Events? We know, okay, LinkedIn, it's audio, kind of there. Give us a little more in-depth and give us some of the practical ways that we could use that.
Sure. So it's because they have the word event, you may or may not know that you can set up a LinkedIn event, just like you could set up a Facebook event. I think there are people that don't realize that that feature is there. So previously you could set up an event and it could be a link to something where you'd have to sign up, say off the platform, or it could be a LinkedIn Live event. So this new LinkedIn audio event is when you go to set up your event, when you get access to it, You click on it and it's one of the options. And it, right now, because it's in beta testing, only the beta testers like myself can host one, but anyone on the platform can join one, can collaborate. And so far, some amazing things have happened.
Very good. So let me interrupt you for a moment. So just to make sure we're clear, so I can say, hey, I'm going to have an event, and it'll be a LinkedIn audio event next Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And our guest is going to be Beth, and here's how you can sign up for it, et cetera, et cetera. Is that the kind of the overall approach?
Pretty much. It's only on LinkedIn. So what happens is the host sets it up and can invite people to the event, can share the link to the event page, and then people can click that they're going to join. And just like on Facebook, people sometimes click that they're going to join as if to say, I saw this, I support you, not that they're actually going to be there.
Exactly. But that way they would get a link or something afterwards. Is that correct?
Well, no. So right now it's not being recorded. So you can't, there are no replays. I am going to experiment with using a third-party tool for that. Not sure if that feature will be added or not. We've suggested it to the product managers, and the product managers are really listening.
Oh, very good. Now, just to be clear on that, because that's an important point. I know over on Clubhouse, at least in the early days of it, they said, no, you're not allowed to legally and under our rules record. Of course, we know you can put a microphone and record just off your speakers if you wanted to, but we like to do that. Are they saying that with LinkedIn, they allow it if we want to, if we could use a third party, but they just are not going to provide the means right now for recording? Is that right?
Exactly. They did say, and I believe it's the right thing to do. If you're going to record it, let the people know.
Yes, that is legally required in many states, Florida, where we are, being one of them. But even if it wasn't the law, I still think it's a decent thing to do. You know, just say, hey, I wonder, is it all right with you if I record this conversation? And if they say, no, I don't want you recording. Okay, then of course you could technically do it. Physically, you could do it without them knowing. But I think it's just a decent thing to do. What are your thoughts on that, Beth?
Exactly. So the one I did yesterday, I did record just to see if the tool that I was thinking of using would work. But I didn't tell anybody, and I'm not going to share it anywhere. It was just more of a test. A lot of beta testers have been requesting that. The two biggest things that people have requested are the ability to record and the ability to have a co-host. Right now, you only have one host. You can have as many guests up on the stage to speak as you want, but they can't control the event. So if for some reason I got kicked off or you needed someone to help with something, that would be really great.
Yeah.
For all of you right now, you can be joining events that are happening. You can raise your hand and be brought up to the stage to speak. And a really cool thing is anyone who's attending an event can message anyone else in the event, even if you're not connected to them. So some really nice introductions or people having a conversation or getting to know each other through the event have happened.
Yeah, I think so. And I think this is a good thing. I like to get down into the weeds, but I know a lot of people, and me too, understand we need to start in the bigger picture. So I'm thinking, okay, what do you see are some of the advantages of having audio on LinkedIn versus having it on Clubhouse, which has a lot of benefits too. But I'd be interested from your point of view, since you've worked with Clubhouse a lot and now working with LinkedIn, what would you say are some of the key advantages or maybe disadvantages too from a LinkedIn audio event?
So for me, Clubhouse was new and fun and there were people there, but many of my clients are not there. They're not early adopters. They're not going to try anything, but they're already on LinkedIn. So people that you may want to engage with are already there. They may not be super active, but they're there. They have a profile. They can get notified. They can get invited. And they're more, because they're there, they may be more comfortable with that platform than going somewhere they've never been before.
That makes sense. Yeah, you're already there, which that's got an advantage versus here's this new thingy, and the new thingy is really cool and groovy and all that. Come on over to the new thingy. Well, wait a minute, I'm already here on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn has a certain panache to it that you're here for business. Unlike other platforms that have different purposes, LinkedIn seems to be strictly business. Has that been your feeling from what you've seen so far, that people are looking at it from more of a business point of view?
Yes, and so over the past year or two, LinkedIn while still for business, put it this way, business has changed. I think
True.
people are more, especially during COVID, right? We're more accepting of the fact that a kid or a dog might run through the background on a Zoom. So business has become slightly more, I don't know if casual is the right word, but business has changed. So people have started to share more business/personal things on LinkedIn. And so I think the conversations so far are business, but they can be emotional too. They can be, it's not limited to what one person might think is a business topic. Where I think it'll be great is there'll be less bad behavior, because on Clubhouse, people could say anything and they didn't care. But if you're on a platform where your career is at stake, you're not going to say something inappropriate.
Of course, I know a lot of Congress people that do that anyway, but that's a whole different thing too. But they're not in business. That's degrading business. Prefer that. You know? But I see that could be really good. Let me ask you, what do you see some of the best use cases and why people are using it right now? Just in the early stage, I know we've only done it for literally a few days now. And you're right there, a week. And you're the pioneer, one of the pioneers out there. They asked you to come on. What are you seeing some of the, ooh, I didn't know they could use it for that, or wow, that's a good use case for it? What have you seen thus far in a week?
So people are experimenting. I'm experimenting, and I have tons of ideas. One of the things, what I did yesterday was I did a LinkedIn Live interview of Robert Kennedy III. Some of you may know him through NSA. And
he's
then,
in the news a lot these days.
Ah, cool. And then we had everybody come over to a LinkedIn audio event for the Q&A. So people who had listened to the interview could ask him questions.
Yes.
So I think that's a great thing. Panel discussions, just conversations around topics. I could see recruiters actually having conversations with people that might want to work at their company. I mean, there's some issues there maybe, but the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to host a networking event with some of the people in the group that I facilitate, and then people can join, and it's as if they're guests at this networking event. So right now, very experimental. I don't know yet. Give me ideas. I'll try them all.
There's all kinds of, matter of fact, those of you that are watching us right now, think about some ways you think, hey, what about this? Because we want to hear your questions in just a moment that you can present for Beth and look at it. But Beth, one thing that I was thinking of, I'd love to hear your comments on this. We could say, for instance, if we knew that it could be more private, it would be good for me to get together with members in a company and we want to explore, should we do the new widgets over in the Des Moines area or whatever? We don't want our competition hearing that. We don't want anyone else knowing that we're thinking about widgets in the Des Moines area. Is there a way to do a private conversation
right now? So they recently actually changed LinkedIn, was it LinkedIn Live or events in general? You used to be able to do a private event or a public event, and they made them all public. Right now, all audio events are public. So people have asked about that. I have no idea if they're going to change that, because I could see that too. Imagine having an event just within a LinkedIn group or just from a company page or paid. Right? They could it could be a paid feature, but right now they are all public.
So we better not be discussing those new widgets in the Des Moines area on LinkedIn.
Exactly.
Stay away from that. Yeah, that would be good. I think that we're seeing a lot. Another thing that I've thought of is, because we've already talked a lot about audio here at Video Rockstars, saying the most important part of video is audio. And we strongly recommend using a good microphone. Make sure you've got your voice is coming through clearly, have others test to make sure, usually an external microphone. With some of the newer computers, an internal really is good, real good in many cases. But it seems like the importance of good quality audio is magnified. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree. And in fact, for all the years, two plus years that I've been doing LinkedIn Live, I have not used any extra audio. I've just used my webcam or headphones or whatever it might be. And even on Clubhouse. But now I am looking at having better sound quality. When I did the first event that I hosted, everybody said they could hear me fine. There was no comment on that. But one of the LinkedIn engineers sent me a note saying, maybe you might want to use a microphone. And I said, nobody said anything. They said it was fine. He said, yeah, audio is my thing. So just a suggestion or an idea.
Well, it could be that this new version of LinkedIn audio events is really a plot from those who produce Yeti microphones to get more sales. I don't know. Just a thought. My mind works that way sometimes. So what do you see are some of the other advantages, and what would you say to a person who's thinking about getting involved with it and how they could get started with this?
So first step, join events that are already happening and just listen and see what people are doing. Then step 2, raise your hand and be part of the conversation. Step 3, collaborate with some of the beta testers, or if it's rolled out by then, on doing an event. So for instance, when Robert was my guest, he wasn't a co-host because there isn't that feature yet, but he was up there on the stage right when we started. You're able to, when you make the event, say who speakers are going to be. So if you're doing a panel discussion, something like that. And then when it's rolled out, try it.
Hey, don't stop now. We've got a lot more videos out there for you about freedom and liberty, living the life of an entrepreneur who believes in live and let live. As a matter of fact, here's a way you can make a positive difference in the world. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. That lets the algorithms know, those wacky algorithms know, that hey, people like this kind of thing of live and let live and doing it in a peaceful way. Thanks for being here with us, and we're looking forward to hearing from you.